And we are live.
We want the gold, sucker! We want the gold, sucker!
And what is up, everybody? I'm your boy, Ben Goosen. Welcome to the show. I'm here with my boy. Introduce yourself. You haven't introduced yourself in a while.
I haven't. It's your
Right.
boy Sage the Mark coming down from the clouds of Valhalla. Valhalla, son.
Yes, we are doing this live on a Thursday night during the. I don't know if you know the video game awards are going on. The IGN Video Game Awards going on right now.
Oh, I know. I heard. I seen my Twitter light up with it, man. I to be honest with you, Goose, this has probably been the first year in like 30 something years where I haven't been into any type of serious video game playing. It's kind of odd.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
man.
it that you haven't been into them, or you've? Because we're gamers. We probably okay. So we're guilty of not streaming our content that much, or as much as we could, because streaming's easy. But I feel like it's that you don't have. There's not time with wrestling, the podcast, or just life. What do you think?
I think that's what it is, man. Like for the first time, my life is just kind of saturated with stuff to do that I don't have as much time as I would love to, or as I would normally do in the past to dedicate to gaming, which is kind of weird. I find myself playing card games like Hearthstone, and I stream that every once in a while, but it's not, I'm an RPGer. Where the RPG games at, yo?
I wonder if that's not where the money's at anymore, right? Like, but then again, the true biggest, like the big PC games and everything, that's where the money's at. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Did I say on the podcast already that I got Red Dead 2?
Yes, you said that you were going to get it by the time you and I last spoke. So I'm assuming that you got it.
I did. And this game's amazing. It's I've only finished the first. I'm about an hour into it. The first 30 minutes, maybe even 45, is intro stuff, intro scenes, a lot of cinematics, and you know how games nowadays, the first hour or so, first 30 minutes to an hour is like kind of tutorial-ish.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But it's amazing. The graphics look clean, and I'm not playing on 4K. And so far, I'm picking up on the story. There's little hints they drop, and I'm like, this dude might be shady. But yeah, Red Dead's legit. Still been playing Black Ops. Heavier on the zombies lately. I want to get into Blackout and multiplayer, but I've just been heavier on the zombies lately. But you know me. You know me. I'm always big on the zombies, Black Ops zombies.
He's always big on the zombies, but without the invite to your boy Sage the Mark.
You don't have Black Ops 4, do you?
I do. I've been playing it every week, bro. Every week.
You really have it?
Yeah, man. You don't even that's how sad it is, man. Like I get on and you don't even notice that I'm even on. And I notice that you and Dobbs is playing, but I don't get the invite. So I figure,
No, every time
why do I even have an Xbox?
Every time I see you on, under my friends list, it always says Amazon Instant Video beneath your name.
Yeah, that's not me, man. That's the missus watching Doctor Who.
And you know what's funny is whenever I see it, when I see you on, it's random. So I'll log into my Xbox on my phone every now and again, and I'm like, bro, how is Sage the Mark playing Xbox at 3:30 in the afternoon, at 11 in the morning?
That's what you get. I'm a millennial, baby, and millennials get to play and work at the same time. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, well, then I didn't know you have it. I'll definitely chunk you an invite this weekend. I've actually been big into fishing lately. It's always been a thing I've been really, really, really into in the past. Didn't really have time to do it for a couple years, and now I'll have to post some pics, man. I went out Friday night, went fishing this spot not too far from the house, and I was really hoping, I'm not going to lie, my intent was to have a couple cold ones, hang out with the guys, hang out with my good friend who I haven't seen in a long time, and I legit was going to post a picture of every fish I caught on the Instagram, but I only caught two, and they were small. I was hoping for something nice, but wasn't worth posting. So that's when I went with the Tekashi 6'9" pick before episode 100 last week.
Yo, speaking of Tekashi, bruh. So I was doing a little thinking last week after we had that conversation in terms of like, you know, how we can separate the music from the individual and their
right.
Yeah, and the actions, and can kind of enjoy it. And so there's this guy that's on Instagram. His name is Tim Han. I think it's Rivera. But he's a comedian slash wrestling fan, like a huge, big wrestling fan. And he does like these like Hollywood Hogan and Bret the Hitman Hart with his posse, and they're all dressed up as like Stone Cold and Kane and things like that. And they do like these comedy skits, and it's actually pretty legit, man. Well, he did one for 6ix9ine to kind of like bring back 6ix9ine or free 6ix9ine kind of thing in the middle of Times Square, bruh. I'm pretty sure you saw that. Everyone's kind of made the rounds. Even Bret Hart has actually seen it and commented on it and stuff like that, man. So that song he was playing in the background, man, was called Waka by Tekashi 6ix9ine, and the beat was pretty hot, man. I was like enjoying it. Then I went to go to YouTube and listen to the full thing, and I was like, all right, man, let me give this dude a little bit of a try. So I was listening to some of his music, and it's not bad, bruh.
Really?
I mean, yeah, it's not bad. Outside of if I had to critique his music, I would say that the N-bombs are like a little bit much. And then there's like controversy that he might have been stealing a lot of other people's like beats and kind of making it his own kind of thing too. So, but outside of that, man, I've heard a few of his tracks, and it's actually pretty solid, man.
All right. Man. So I tried to look him up on Spotify, and it's bad that we could say we haven't heard of this dude, and he's a popular rapper, or not that we haven't heard of him, we just didn't give him any time. But I think Spotify banned him because of all those charges. Since they involved, the other one involved somebody underage. I think he's on the banned Spotify list. Even though his album leaked last weekend, nothing is on Spotify for him.
That's crazy, man. I haven't even checked Amazon to see if his music's popped up there, but it looks like his whole entire album is on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, well, it leaked.
Yeah. So it's I don't know, man. It's pretty legit. Like from what I've heard, it's actually pretty legit. So but speaking of which, I did want to just couple of things. We kind of went off the charts from our normal format, which is great because makes for great content. But just a quick reminder to our fans, everybody who's listening, everyone who's watching. What up, Stephen Thatch in the chat there? Be sure you guys follow us on Instagram. It's Real Wrestling Podcast. We're on Twitter. Real WrestleCast on Twitter. Right now we are running a contest up until the 20th of December, which is next Thursday. Basically, last week on our 100th episode, we had announced that, let's go ahead and do a contest where we're giving away WWE 2K10 or 2K19 rather. I don't think anybody would want 2K10.
No time soon. But you digress.
Okay. Yeah, so call on our hotline. Still is a way that you can get that in there. 419-777 IRWP. We've already got a couple of contestants that are in there, which we're going to actually air tonight. tonight some of those promos that we've received. But in hindsight, Goose and I was thinking, the missus got involved as well, kind of told us that, you know, we doing wrong, You're doing wrong.
You're doing wrong.
Gotta watch our mouths because we're doing wrong. So, you know, we recognize that not everybody is comfortable with dropping promos, and that shouldn't preclude you from being able to enter into the contest. So what we're gonna do instead is add a little bit of a assistance to those people who just don't want to call the hotline and drop that voice. You can comment on this video on Twitter, either episode 100 or the holiday giveaway episode. Comment on the video. 3 things you got to do. You got to like the video. You got to subscribe to It's Real Wrestling Podcast. And then you need to drop a line on who writes the best, well, not writes, but who performs the best promo ever in your entire life of wrestling fandom. Who writes the best promo and who your favorite wrestler is. That's all you got to do. Put it in the comments of either the 100th or this episode here or on the holiday giveaway episode, and you will be entered into the contest as well.
Now, let's be specific. You're talking about the YouTube video, right?
That is correct. The YouTube video.
Yes. And you know what the interesting thing is if you want to find, you could comment on this episode. You can comment on last week's episode. Hint, hint, that was episode 100. But if you want to find the link, it's in the description or right there. Right there. There it is, right there. Right there. You see it? You see it? It's right there.
Ghost. You did it.
It's right there. Do you see it? You see it? Look, I'm going deep because it was actually a couple spaces down. It's right there. Now, one of the things we have to start off the week with, let's get into this immediately. You ready for this?
Yep,
we had several voicemails of folks that were calling in, and you are entered. Don't get it twisted. But I'm gonna play. I'm just gonna play one, and I feel like I have to because it's one of the day one listeners and everything. So let's get into one of these voicemails that we received this week here on the IRWP. You could hear this, right?
Cut my music.
Got turned up a little bit.
It's me. It's that STCAPC. Steven Theft.
This is as loud as it goes.
Certified Asian Persuader. Crusader. Look, there'll be none before me and there'll be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. You know, that young and single who loves the mingle. Certified, bona fide, and doubly qualified to bring satisfaction and a whole lot of action to the IRWP. Look, baby, I'm not just your number one fan. No. Since day one, October 2nd, 2016, I've been watching you, Goosen. Yeah, I remember that day. Showing off your Bruce Lee moves in your kitchen. Then stage, tiptoeing across the living room of his old pad towards the camera. Yeah, I remember that. Y'all kept it real. But y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know why I'm here. Right here, right now. Because you are celebrating episode 100. And you're also giving away a copy of that 2K19. That's why I'm here. I want that copy. Because I deserve to be the one. The one. Look, man, I got that Xbox One. You got that Xbox One. You also have that Xbox One. I'm talking about you, Goose, and I'm talking about you, Sage.
That was great.
Yeah, I dig listening to y'all every Thursday. But I can't wait to create both of you suckers.
But they hit the beat button there.
Xbox digital copy that Creator Wrestler. So I can be whipping y'all's ass each and every single night on that 2K19. Oh, yeah. Give me that game. because I'm ready.
That was
Oh,
the greatest promo of all time.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's Stephen Thatch, bro.
That
That's
was
Stephen Thatch.
an amazing promo cut, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Silky saying you want to go one-on-one with him, man. I'm gonna tell you this, Thatch. You don't call out my boy Ben Goosen, and you sure as hell don't call out your boy Sage the Mark, because you know what? You get that game. You get that game. I get that game. It's you versus my boy Ghetto D, and Ghetto D don't have that junk. You know what I'm saying? Ghetto D will eat you for dinner and then spit it out and then eat it again, because that's what Ghetto D does. Do you understand the words that are coming out my mouth, son?
Oh man, that made my day. I've had a crazy day, and that made my day. Just to be here with Silky Mel, Sage and Mark, and Stephen Thatch in the chat, our live listeners. Hit us up. We actually have some comments we got to read. We're giving out props. Hey, it's the holiday season. Get yourself a free copy of WWE 2K19. It's easy. It's on us. We're paying for it. Going to send you a digital code so it's nice and easy to download. And Sage, you didn't mention something that we really want to see, and that's, quite frankly, when you win, we want to see you playing the game.
That's right.
So take a pic of you playing the game. You don't have to have your face in it. We completely understand. And just tag yourself in it. Have some fun. You know what I mean? Have some fun out there. But again, shout outs to loyal listener Stephen Thatch on that one, as well as Silky Mel Johnson joining in the chat, man. Always good to hear from Silky Mel. So let's get into this week in wrestling. Actually, wait a minute. Before we get in, you mentioned earlier that the missus chimed in on this contest.
Yeah, she did.
So clearly, your girl's last name is the Mark. So what's her maiden name? Is it like Hillface?
Yeah, Hillface.
Mrs. Hillface?
Mrs. Hillface or Mrs. Queen of the Ring.
There you go.
How you like them apples?
Mrs. Queen of the Ring. That's what I'm saying.
Mrs. Queen of the Ring, man.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get into this week.
Yeah.
Outside of the ring, do we have... I don't think there's anything outside the ring to get into, right?
Oh, bruh. Where do I start, man? Oh, let's go, man. Let's go. First off, rest in peace, Larry Henning. Larry the Axe
Today, yep.
Henning, man. Just got the news literally a couple hours ago, man. Rest in peace, man. I can't say nothing. I love the Henning. Y'all know me. Y'all know that I love the Henning family. Just kind of sad to hear. Rest in peace, George H.W. Bush.
Yes, that one. Like him, love him, or hate him. If you did or did not vote for him, you know, I always not mark out, but I always love seeing former presidents sit and hang out together with their wives, or just former presidents hang out together. Because even though they have different views, they both had one of the toughest jobs in the world. So shout outs to former President Bush.
Yeah, for sure. I will always remember George Bush that was the first president I actually really knew. I remember we had a local radio station that did like a little mixtape with him, do a little rap mixtape with him to kind of rally people to get behind the war that was going on during that time, the Saudi Arabia war. So I thought that was kind of interesting as my kind of first introduction into I guess politics or something like that, but I thought that was pretty interesting. The other two things that I do want to get into before we get into the week of wrestling, which I'll let you take the pick which one you want to start with first, is Xavier Woods' comment or the independent wrestlers of Britain are staging some kind of a revolt against what's going on with NXT and WWE's.
Let's go with because I'm kind of familiar with the Xavier Woods comment. So fill me in on the UK deal. What's going on there?
Yeah. So I think it was either last week or this week. The WWE has given basically new contracts to their NXT UK stars. These contracts are pretty tiered contracts. So you've got like literally 3 tier levels of talent there. So your top talent, your mid carders, and then your
Up and comers,
fill-ins.
newer people. Yeah.
Up and comers, newcomers. So essentially the way that the contracts are reading is that through the end of 2018, if they have any contractual obligations for other promotions, they can still fulfill those. But going into 2019, they're basically barred from doing any um, any matches with other promotions that are either affiliated with WWE. So like your Evolve, your X Pro, your
Everything. Yeah.
everything. Those people.
Interesting.
And if they do them, they have to do dark matches, so it can't be any televised matches. And then your TNAs, your Impacts, your potentially your AEWs, although those aren't. It's not specific. I think that they're kind of grandfathering them into the whole TV thing. They're not going to be able to do that either. So a lot of keep it in context. Britain is not really a big country. In terms of like from a wrestling standpoint, you've got tons of wrestlers. Like you do have tons of wrestlers there, but it's not at the level of like a Japan or at a level of,
Comparatively speaking to a Japan, America, Mexico. You sure.
correct. So there's a lot of British wrestlers that are kind of upset with the way these contracts are being structured because it's kind of pigeonholing them into basically how they can make money. It's very, very limited in what they can actually do. Whereas on the independent scene, they have more opportunities to book shows. So there's a lot of people that are refusing to go to NXT UK or WWE programming for the simple fact is that more people that do it, the less opportunity there is going to be overall for the UK wrestlers. So I wanted to see what your thoughts on that was. If you feel like it would be endangering the UK, the British UK talent, just overall.
Oh, great question. So I'm gonna answer this from the perspective of if I was a wrestler in the UK right now. I would sell the hell out and go to the WWE. If I was an independent wrestler and WWE said, "Hey, it's 2018. You competed in the UK tournament. You have a choice: stick with us. You can't go anywhere else in 2019, or we could part ways." I think I'd stick with WWE, and I say that. Of course, it's the money. It's the biggest company in the world. Sure, there's that aspect, but it's the fact that WWE goes to the biggest wrestling market. I'm gonna just say is the USA. I think that's hands down. But I get a chance to wrestle in the biggest wrestling market in the world. And this company also goes to Mexico, India, the Philippines, and they go all over the world, including Europe. So I think just thinking of me as a subcontractor wrestler and my brand, you have to go the WWE route. It sucks that you're given that, hey, make a choice right now. But just thinking about my brand and my business, because wrestlers they're entrepreneurs, right? They're contracted entrepreneurs. But once their contract is up, they can do whatever the hell they want. You can go out and make being the elite all wrestling. You can do all that, but you are your own brand. So I would go. I don't think it's that bad. And I agree with WWE on saying, hey, look, if you're gonna off other TV shows. So I could see that. At least they're given the option to work dark matches. Because that's saying, sorry to cut you off. I'm really sorry. But
No, you're good.
That's saying you could work dark matches. So that's to me, it's WWE saying, I understand fans want to see you and they could see you, but from the business aspect, they just can't on TV. So you can go have a 5-star match. It just has to be a dark match. And fans will still leave happy, which that's what people want. So what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of mixed. it's kind of hard seeing it from the outside in because I can't really quantify how small the British strong style market is, the British wrestling market is. But if it's as small as I think that it is, I could understand where their concern would be. Just because, and you also have to remember, just because you're in the WWE UK or NXT UK doesn't necessarily mean that you're making more money than you would on the indie scenes either.
True.
We don't know how the contracts are structured, but if I was running the company, I wouldn't put a tier level 3. I wouldn't put them on a salary basis. I would put them on a per appearance basis.
Right.
Whereas your tier 1s and maybe your tier 2s, you'd put them on a guaranteed contract kind of thing. So I don't think that it would be fair to pigeonhole those that are on the end of the scale, the entry level talent. I don't think it would be right to pigeonhole them, because then you're not giving them an opportunity to grow, and that's where you become disgruntled. When you become disgruntled, you make mistakes, and then you ask for your release, and it's just not a good experience the way through. I am never of the mindset or opinion that the company comes before the talent. I always think of it the other way around. And that, I mean, that's just the way that I am. I think that the mindset of business, where the business says that you must be loyal to the business, like that was good like 20 years ago, but in today's day and age, with so much opportunity and the fact that you're your own self brand, I think it's important for you to always think about what's best for you, and before the company itself. So
And maybe go the Cody Rhodes, Omega, and all that. Just keep it that way. Right?
For sure.
Did you hear that there's going to be an HBO documentary on Kenny Omega?
No, I can't wait. I heard that it's going to be kind of centered around the Golden Lovers triangle.
Yeah. I don't
think that's pretty cool, but
it's interesting. I don't know where they're going to go with that. And the Xavier Woods thing. So I read a brief transcript, but for the listeners out there who didn't get a chance to read it or hear about it, will you fill them in, Sage?
Yeah, so I think this all started with Taz's comment after Raw, on his podcast. He basically critiqued the hell out of Raw, and I guess Xavier took kind of offense to that and was just kind of saying overall that the fans were just entitled babies, because of the way that they critique or complain about the actual product. So that kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Marks especially, but just kind of overall from a perspective, because those, and we've talked about it before, man. In the past, and my whole thing is, look, like, Xavier should know, like, just using him as an example, he should know just from his background, like, the importance of criticism in anything. He's a gamer, right?
Oh God! If you read gamer chats, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, gamers are probably one of the most outspoken individuals. Just period. If you didn't like Quest 64, you're gonna let Nintendo know that you don't want a part 2 because part 1 was crap, right? That's just the nature of what it is. Are you gonna sit there and just take the game and just not complain about it? Like, no, like that. If in order for a company to get better, they need to listen to those who are paying their bills, essentially. And if you're not listening to, if your measuring stick is just solely the fact that they're not paying money into it, then you're not doing right as a business owner at all. It's important to get the feedback from those who actually paid for it, so that you can make a better product, so that you can keep those fans, and so that those fans can go out and tell their other fans that, hey, come check out this product, which is great. I think the wrestlers just in general are getting too comfortable, especially the ones that are kind of under the WWE flagship. They're getting too comfortable in where they are. It's almost like they've got the God complex. Everything that's being critiqued is like they take it personal, like it's them. But most of the critique isn't about the way that they work. It's more so about the storylines that are being delivered to them.
You know, yeah, scripted. And here's the thing. These guys are putting on a show. Unfortunately, or I should say fortunately / unfortunately, they're putting on a show 52 weeks a year. The New Day, all intents and purposes for their work rate, hardly ever get injured, which is amazing. But the New Day is on TV every week. They're a big thing, a big draw. If you're on TV 52 weeks a year, you're going to have a bad match. Just mathematically speaking, it's got to happen, right? You do something 52 times in a row, one is not going to be great. One is going to be far worse than the 52nd. So I think the word he used was infants or like spoiled brats or entitled something like that.
Infants.
See, but we that's not fair because we have our opinion. It's no different than me and you. Okay, what happened on last week's episode of Empire Sage?
I didn't watch it, so I can't tell you.
So now Terrence Howard, it's okay for him to say you're an entitled infant?
No, because there's a reason why I didn't watch it.
It's man, I hate this word. It's fake. So I'm not, as fans, and maybe me and you are different. I don't know. But as fans, we're not saying Xavier Woods, you know, whatever his real name is, he did bad.
Exactly.
At the core of it, we're just saying we weren't entertained by XYZ. Actually, I think if I was a wrestler, I would love, and you know I like to troll. I'd love if somebody said, man, Goose, you're boring. The ratings are down when you're on TV. I watched your last 15 segments on Raw and they were horrible. I'd be like, hey, but you watched them though, right? But you watched them though, right? So your ass needs to shut up. So that's the thing is we can critique it, especially from the New Day, because those guys always, the New Day and the Bar and the Usos are the epitome of the fail-safe, right? Those guys will always do something great no matter what. So, yeah, I wish wrestlers didn't take it so personal. But then again, those guys, maybe they're just tired. I don't know.
That's why I can't see them. I refuse to take that as an excuse, right? For all the critiques of smart marks not knowing the business itself, which is, I find that comment just appalling and just hilarious overall. Wrestling is, aside from the actual physicality of wrestling, it's a business. The way that that's run is no different than the way Starbucks is ran, to be honest with you. You've got to know your supply, you got to know your demand, you got to know what works from a marketing standpoint, you got to know what doesn't work from a marketing standpoint. And if you're out of touch in any of those particular segments, it's going to show. Eventually it's going to show. People are not going to go, your sales are not going to be there. Same thing with wrestling. You're not listening to the criticism, the legit criticism. I'm not talking about the harsh ones, that like the ones who just go on every week to just bash the product. Because for all those people who actually do that, and there's quite a few that do that, there are those that there are just as many that actually give criticism, good critique and criticism, both positive and negative. But if you refuse to actually listen to that and take that in and learn from it, you're going to get exactly what happened to Raw this week. The lowest viewership of Raw.
Now let's get into that. So man, this is a tough pill to swallow. So Raw was a women's Raw. Started off for the most part, the whole first hour was a women's show. And the final segment was a women's show. I think we could sit here and say it's not the women's fault. That it was one of the, if not, did you say it was the lowest rated Raw of all time?
It was the lowest rated Raw of all time.
I don't think the women are to blame. They're not a very woman heavy segment, or very woman segment heavy Raw. But I'm not gonna lie, Raw was bad this week. I thought from the get-go, woman heavy, but I still watched the matches and I thought, dude, I'm just not feeling this. And right now, women are on the same pedestal as men. And I just thought, I'm just not feeling this. So I turned it to football and thought, you know what? Let me just watch Raw tomorrow when I got some more energy in me. Watch Raw, and again, I mean, we had the official kind of breakup of Ziggler and McIntyre, right?
Yeah, we did. And that
wasn't
was actually the better part of the show.
It was, but it wasn't as big as it probably should have been, right?
No, I mean not in a sense, but you know what? I will say this, man. I did enjoy the women's segment. You know, there's some parts that I could have done without, you know, Nia blowing up the microphone, and then bashing, was it Dana or Dana or
Yeah,
whatever her name was. Yeah, bashing her. I could have done without that piece of it. I feel that outside of Ronda, there's no direction for the rest of the women, and it's showing. With Alexa out of action, like it's really placed the hole in the women's division. They're continuing to prolong the women's tag team segment. They keep just dropping hints and hints and hints about the women's tag team belts, but we're not getting any payoff to it whatsoever. First, it was supposed to be at Survivor or the Mae Young Classic, or the Evolution. We were supposed to get it at the Evolution. Then it got pushed back to Survivor Series. Then it got pushed back to the Royal Rumble. And now it looks like we're not going to get it until Mania. Like, you keep stringing us along and there's no payoff of it whatsoever. With the Ziggler and the mid card, which is really not the mid card spot, it's really the top spot. I think they set themselves up for failure months and months and months, and even probably years in advance. They put all their eggs with Roman Reigns and didn't develop anybody else. They didn't have a contingency plan in place whatsoever, and because they didn't have that contingency plan when Roman ended up having to leave, they're kind of floundering. No one has a gimmick. Bobby Roode is like
crying about Pete on robes.
Exactly, Pete on robes. Braun Strowman is out right now. You got Baron Corbin doing the best that he can with what he has. Bobby Lashley went from face to heel, still doesn't talk, doesn't have really a gimmick. His manager is great. His manager's
he's
great,
showing his butt, dude.
He's
flexing.
He's showing his glutes, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, they set themselves up for failure because and they got a champion that's not even on the television.
Yeah, and Triple H and Kurt are out too.
Yeah, like they've set themselves up for failure because they decided to revolve the entire show around three people, and those three people are no longer involved in the story whatsoever. It's bad, and it's going to continue to be bad because they refuse to evolve the other talent. We've got 205 Live was the MVP of this week on Raw. They took on all the victories. They pinned Dawson and Dash. They took out Bobby Roode. Like, come on, man. Like, really, what's really good?
Is it the Revival? Jeez, no comment. That's the no comment moment of the year. Speaking of which, we have our IRWP awards coming up soon, huh?
That's right, we do.
Like, maybe we need to have an SMH award because the Revival, for how great they were in NXT, one of those dudes must have pissed somebody off, right?
I don't even think it's. I mean, it could be maybe their whole comments with the Young Bucks and stuff like that. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know.
That's recent.
No,
How do
they've
you
been
get
doing that
caught?
for years, man. FFR or FRR, like that's been going on for since last year's WrestleMania.
True. FTR, yeah.
It's I don't know, and it's and they made a comment this week that they're almost likely to jump ship once their contract is over. April is going to be an interesting month this year. Like spring cleaning is going to be real.
Well, a lot of the NJPW folks, the indie folks, their contracts are coming up in January.
Yeah. It's it's going to be an interesting 2019 for sure, man. And I am looking forward to it. I really am.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think there's things that are interesting out there, but yeah, Raw was just it's pretty bad. I actually watched SmackDown this week. Did you let's let's not get into Daniel Bryan yet. He was definitely the highlight of SmackDown, but with the show, I think the show started off with Paige, Charlotte, Asuka, and Becky Lynch.
Yeah. Wasn't the contract signing this week?
Yep. Man, I loved it. I
Yeah.
thought they all bought their A game. Even Asuka got in some mic.
Yeah, man. Dude, I still mark out when Asuka does her battle cry. I love it.
Yeah. So it was good, man. It was a good promo, especially since Becky Lynch has to be, she can't do anything physical at the time being. But no, it was a great promo. Great way to start the show. I like that Paige as a woman is running the show there, and that Paige is, running that segment specifically with the all woman. So I thought that was pretty awesome. What else outside of Daniel? You know what I loved? No, because that involves Daniel Bryan. I thought The Miz. No, that involves Daniel Bryan. Man, Daniel Bryan pretty much ran SmackDown this week, didn't he?
He did, man. But don't forget, you know what the title of today's show is, right?
I do. It's a celebration beat. No, I'm playing.
Shout out to episode 100, baby.
That's how we're keeping it.
Go ahead.
The vegan and almost said vegan and the Brewmaster.
That's right.
Which, by the way, I read that
Brewmaster.
I read that title earlier and thought it was great. So where's this Brewmaster coming from? Am I missing something in this title?
Oh man, yeah, bro. You didn't see the Samoa Joe promo?
Oh, I text my friends when who did I text? I think I text Dobby Amore. No, I text my friend 12 Toes, and I said, "Man, this is gonna sound. I don't mean to sound insensitive. Man, I love when they touch on Jeff Hardy's issues in these storylines, because that's clearly what it is, right?
Yeah, like it's
Like an
a real
overboard
work
dick
shoot,
move by
bro.
Joe.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is a real work shoot, and I love it, man. Like Joe is just like on another level when it comes to his promos, man. Like his ability, his uncanny ability to take real world situations and just make it like, yo, I don't care. What you gonna do about it? You try to do something, I'm gonna put you to sleep. So I'm a bad dude. I'm a bad dude. Joe's gonna kill you. I love it, man. And I like how he was like clean cut in the bar. It was just like, yo, drink responsibly. Yo.
Wasn't it brutal? And obviously I'm okay with it because it's not kicking a man while he's down. Jeff Hardy's obviously okay with it, but yeah, it's just a great way to start a segment. The downside, though, is Joe is the same as Bray Wyatt. Gets built up and then loses all the big matches. So I hope I hope this goes somewhere. Joe, just the thought of Joe versus Jeff Hardy is just something awesome to see. Jeff Hardy's not, like the best wrestler in the world, but he's one of the most charismatic and he brings a lot to the table. So it's just going to be awesome to see this feud play out.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love it, man. And I'm hoping we get itchweed. I'll always say that. I mean, I'll sell for the network specials that with Itchweed, but I'm hoping we get Itchweed. I love it, man. I enjoy it, man. Like the best storylines told are those that involve like, personal stuff that, that we can laugh about in the like in not in a humor sense, but just kind of laugh at, hey, we've come a long way kind of thing. So, we had the Lita and Matt Hardy thing
Yeah.
back in the day, and we had Owen and Stone Cold back in the day, cutting
Yeah.
promos about the broken neck, and Sean and Brett.
Oh,
And
sunny days. Yeah.
yeah, man. So it's SmackDown just does it right, man. They do it right and they do it better. And I'm afraid that they're gonna start poaching people to save Raw. But honestly, I said this last week, Goose. I stick by this. Silky's asking, what can save Raw? Like who could take from SmackDown to Raw? And I'm gonna tell you right now, absolutely nobody. Y'all stay the flip away from my show. Y'all leave my talent there. Hello, all right. We tired of building up your people. We give them to you, and then you do absolutely nothing with them. Y'all keep that gingivitis over there. We good. We good, fam. We good.
Damn right. So Daniel Bryan, we got to admit he led the show of SmackDown this week, right?
Oh, for sure, man. Yo, I am digging Mr. Vegan, bro. Like, did you hear what he said when, or did you get the clip about him, the happy birthday to the kid in the crowd?
I was just about to get into that.
My bad, bro.
I was gonna play it on air this week, but I was worried about the audio quality of it. Thought it might suck.
Nah, bro, you gotta play it, son. You gotta play it. It's so while you tee it up. So during the break between the match, it was a Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, right?
Yeah, it looked to be The Miz.
Yeah, I think it was The Miz, and I think it was a dark match. It was a dark match, right?
Yeah, because it was definitely during SmackDown because they had the setup, or maybe after SmackDown, because the setup was there. The setup was definitely there.
So Miz, when Daniel's in the ring, he sees a kid who has a sign up saying that it's his birthday, and Daniel Bryan, sees the sign, and Daniel Bryan's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Wait, hold
really
on.
good guy.
I've got it queued up. Let's see how this audio sounds. Let me see if you could.
All right.
Tell me if you could hear it. Okay. If it sounds like shit, then we'll turn it off.
With a birthday sign. Isn't that kid? What does that say? It's your birthday. Congratulations. You're stupid.
How great was that?
Yeah. Yo, that's on the same level as Sasha Banks tearing up Lil Izzy's sign in NXT.
Oh, how great. It's your birthday? Congratulations. You're stupid. So you can go just type in Daniel Bryan birthday and you can watch the rest of the video, but he goes on a little bit more. He must be having the time of his life as a heel.
Oh, man. Yes. I like this first heel run, but this is on another level, man. This is like, yo, I'm pissed off at the world and y'all gonna feel my pain. Yo,
every one of you are gonna feel my pain.
Exactly. Do not take the title off of him anytime soon, please. The only person who should take that title off of him should be The Miz.
Oh, easily, right?
Yeah. And I'm feeling a face Miz. Like I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, man. It's his time, man.
They're kind of teasing it, right? Especially after this week on SmackDown, how he was adamant about, hey, I did this right. Hey, I did this right. Hey, I told you, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. Like it's happening. It's finally happening. We're gonna get a Miz title run, and well freaking deserved. This is how you reward your talent right here. This is how you do it. This is how you build stars.
You're thinking Miz versus Bryan at Mania?
Miz versus Bryan at Mania, man. That is the match that we've been clamoring to see. Miz lost the first one. No, he won the first one.
He kind of won their last series, yeah.
Yeah, he won the last series, but lost the overall. This is it here. No, he lost. He got the roll up in like 2 minutes.
No, so I think
Or-
Miz won 2 out of, if you include SmackDown matches, Miz won 2 out of 3.
Gotcha.
Something like that. But he definitely, because then Maurice got involved and they did the mixed tag match and all that stuff.
That's
but
right.
that
Yeah,
was the
so-
match that I think he lost, was a mixed tag. But either which way, we digress. I loved it. I thought that Daniel Bryan, man, he could just do it all. The heel thing. And here's the thing, when you turn heel, there's a difference. Okay, let's look at the heel run, and because they're so close in proximity. Let's look at the heel run right now, up until today, of Daniel Bryan versus Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose
Dude.
coming in that stupid ass mask.
That Bane costume, bro.
Yeah, go follow us on Instagram and you'll see what we're talking about.
I must admit, man, I actually like the sirens going off during his music, man. I enjoyed that piece of it. That was that sounded pretty tight, man. But yeah, it was a little bit of a knockoff to the Dark Knight.
It just didn't. It was, to me, silly, and you don't need to do that with a lunatic. There doesn't need to be the silly factor. Maybe they need to do it to be over the top to get him over.
But I don't think he's a lunatic anymore, man. I think that this is his evolution for his character. He's no longer the lunatic. He's just, I don't know what to call it, but it's a different Dean altogether. And I think that they're going to somehow incorporate Renee Young into the storyline, which I'm not feeling too well about that unless she's going to get her hands dirty. And I doubt that our Renee is going to do that.
No, yeah, I doubt that. But yeah, Daniel Bryan dominated SmackDown. Shinsuke Rusev is going to be kind of an interesting feud.
For sure. Rusev might actually get an opportunity to wield the U.S. title, but it's good to see him in the title picture itself, man. Definitely enjoying that. And I like this whole, I like how silly they get on SmackDown, man. When he panned out of the camera and then came back and said Rusev Day. I definitely enjoyed that, man. So it's good, man. We've been clamoring for Rusev to get a shot at something. I really wanted him to get a shot at the world title, but right now it's not. It's definitely not in the cards with the way that the storylines are going.
Yeah, nowhere near the foreseeable future. Anything else to get into this week, man? How's your fantasy football team looking? Did you make the
I'm at
playoffs?
3-10, bruh.
Ugh.
Yeah, I literally gave up last week, man. I just I'm trying to salvage what the last couple weeks right now, but it's not looking good in the slightest.
Yeah. I'm in the playoffs, but I'm not gonna do much. Yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's someone needs to throw me a life jacket, man, because I am drowning. This is the first one that I've been under 500 in like 6 years, dude.
Oof.
Yeah. So,
Ugh.
not really feeling that, but I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
So what else do we have to get into this week? I felt like, so we touched on outside the ring, touched on inside the ring. Game Awards. Oh, the Captain Marvel. I gotta ask you, is Captain Marvel did you watch the new trailer?
Oh, I did, man.
Do you think-
I did? I turned off Raw just to watch it.
Yeah, it was halftime of the Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, it was.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that, I'm just fairly asking, I'd ask anybody this, that they're pushing Captain Marvel, and she looks pretty OP, she looks super overpowered to be able to defeat Thanos. Do you think that they're pushing her now because of the Me Too movement? And they're capitalizing on it? Women empowerment.
I think that there's just kind of a shift overall with superheroes, and rightfully so, man. Superheroes are dominated primarily by men, but there are great women ones as well, but no one gives them the time and day for it. I think that Wonder Woman kind of broke the ceiling.
Yeah, great point.
Yeah, and I mean we've tried, right? We tried Catwoman twice. It was great with Michelle Pfeiffer, not so great with
Halle Berry.
Berry. Um, who else have we attempted? We tried a Harley Quinn. We're
A
getting a
Phoenix movie's
sequel,
coming out
but
soon. Yeah,
yeah, Dark
that'll be a
Phoenix
good
is
one.
coming out. But they're iconic characters that should have an opportunity to shine on the screen. And I think that now we're in a society with us, you know, the millennial generation that kind of grew up with comics, like these types of comics, where it's socially acceptable to have a female lead superhero and actually do well. Like we're a little bit more accepting of it than maybe our prior generations were.
Yeah,
And I like it, man. I it's been compelling so far. Um, and we need change. I think change is good, man, and we need change.
yeah, yeah. I was hoping it wasn't. I've been asking a bunch of people about that if they think it was a money grab on the Me Too movement, and no. So I'm pumped to see how she does. It's I'm kind of cool. I'm kind of a fan of those Phoenix female OP superhero roles.
I
So
can't
yeah, I think
wait
it's
till
gonna be good.
Phoenix comes out, bro. I cannot wait.
Me neither.
I've been
Oh
waiting
yeah.
for this since I was like 7 or 8 years old, bro. Phoenix is one of my favorite characters, and that Femke Jansen.
Oh, so beautiful. Well, all right. What else? Did you want to read some comments from the before we wrap
Yeah.
up today's show?
Yeah. So just again, repeating, guys, letting you guys know we are running this contest for WWE 2K10. I mean 2K19.
You did it again.
I did it again. Pony don't did it again. Pony don't did it again. Yeah, no, man. We in the festive mood. Next week we're going to be giving away a copy of 2K19 WWE digital copy. All you got to do is you can give us a call and drop a promo 419-777 IRWP 419-777 419-777-4797.
Good job.
Just drop us a promo as to why you think you should get that copy using your persona. If you don't want to call, that's cool. All you got to do is log onto our YouTube channel, find us, It's Real Wrestling Podcast, or just put IRWP Ben Goosen or IRWP Sage the Mark, and you'll get to our channel. Comment on episode 101, who your favorite wrestler is, who delivers the best promo. Make sure that you subscribe and you like. You got to do all those things, not necessarily in that order, but they got to be done at the same time, the same day, in order for you to be entered into that contest. And we will do the drawing next week. So we had a couple of entries already, so I'm going to go ahead and announce those. So thank you very much for Fireball Gamer. He says, my fave is Rey Mysterio because he won my fave. I feel like I have to say these in character.
You kind of do. You kind of do.
All right, so I think he's a little bit younger, so I'm gonna try to impersonate someone who's younger than me, maybe half my age. So here we go. My favorite is Rey Mysterio because he won my favorite title, the IC title, on the day that I was born. I only have an Xbox 360, but hopefully I get an Xbox One for Xmas. I think that's Christmas. Also, Samoa Joe is an absolute best promo cutter. So I agree with you.
Yeah. Good man.
Samoa Joe, top notch. So thank you so much, Fireball Gamer. Just word of caution. Hey, if you're gonna leave your comments, please make sure that you don't put any sensitive information in the comment section, like your actual date of birth.
Just trying to protect you, man.
Yeah, just trying to help you guys out. So we also got a Dwight McCoy.
The white around your lips.
Dwight. No, Goose, no. All right, here we go. This is how I imagined Dwight would be. Hey, yo. Favorite, AJ Styles. He is phenomenal. I like Keith Slater, too. His promos are best, even though he barely uses them anymore. As a fellow West Virginian, Heath Slater is great. He's great to watch. Yo, Dwight, you the man. Thank you so much for the comment. Thank you for subscribing and liking. You enter into the contest. Good luck next week. And that's it.
All right, easy come, easy go. Hey, listen, I'm your boy Ben Goose, and we're wrapping up the show this week. We've had a pretty good show tonight. I'm gonna leave you with my personal thoughts and just, man, just love everybody. You never know what tomorrow's got coming to you. Like we always say, peace, love, respect one another, love one another. Just have fun in life. Weekend's coming up when we do these shows. Everybody, keep it real.
Keep it real. Goose, don't forget, we got that second voicemail. Hit it.
Oh, we're gonna get into some second voicemail action? Let me kill this. Let me kill this. Let me kill this beat. That's what we're gonna end the show on this week. Thank you for the kind reminder, by the way.
You know, I gotta keep you honest, man. Gotta keep you honest.
We are gonna end the show. Oh, these voicemails that we've had this week are something else. So,
yeah.
Without further ado, let me pull up the. Without further ado, I'm gonna bring you the second part of and y'all heard it at the top of the show of one of our loyal listeners, Mr. Thatch, giving us his opinion. We're gonna end this week's show on the second half of his promo. Here goes.
There is no chance in hell that Google or whatever voicemail provider you're using just did that. Don't you ever cut me off. I'm not done till I say I'm done. Like I was saying, it's been 20 years, Goosen. 20 long years since you faced Team Asia. That's right. I'm bringing them back. I'm bringing them back. Thatch, Puda, Folk, Mulan, and my other peeps. We're coming for the brotherhood. We're coming for the reunion. Give me that opportunity to show you and Sage how worthy this #1 fan is. Keep it real. Keeping it real since day one. And if you don't like it, you'll be struck by lightning. I'm out.